You'll ask the ground crew, are we cleared to start, because they know the procedures. They might say no, we've got to wait till we're past the road or something because for jet blast, but they'll tell you when you're cleared to start, and we normally start 2 then 1. So before you start, minimum PSI is 30 PSI, so you just have a quick check of the gauge above the panel up here. You're just looking at the N2 gauge is just spinning up here. The M1 should start spinning. You don't put the fuel in until you've got positive M1 rotation either. So 25%, chuck the fuel in.
Number 564, take you up on the offer of equipment.
Roger, 564, taxi Echo 7, hold short on web 10.
So, tackle, taxi Echo 7, hold short 10, number 5.
Right there.
There you go, it should ignite, and EGT then starts to rise. EGT is the main one you're really looking at. Obviously before you put the fuel in, you want to make sure oil pressure is up as well.
Alright, cool. There you go.
So that one's so you see it's self-regulating now.
It's clicked back now. So does that mean it's
so 40?
done?
Yeah. So if we were in the flight at 46%, it would have clicked back to off. If it didn't, and also you need to make sure that the starter cutout goes, and the call would be starter cutout. So we'll check on when we start engine 1. We'll do that.
Yeah. Okay.
So
right.
Go back to ground. So clear start engine 1. So N2 starts will be so start valve open comes up above the that
there
light
it
there.
is, yeah.
N2 starts increasing. You're checking for a little bit of oil pressure as well. That very quickly comes up. There you go, look.
Yeah.
That's starting to rise. You've got M1 fan rotation. And at 25%, you're going to put it in. This is a very good APU. They're not good. Not this good in real life.
Are they not? So 25.
Chuck it in.
Chuck it in. Right. So let's have a little look and see what happens here then.
So yeah. EGT rising. 46%. That clicks. That goes out. That's cool. Be starter cut out. You just announce it.
So, would you say that's all pretty accurately modelled then?
Yeah, it's pretty accurate. Yeah, it's a very powerful APU.
Right. Okay. Cool.
And this has got actually these are all the Lufthansa style gauges. The fuel flow ones. They permanently show the fuel used in the digital, and they permanently show the fuel flow on the dial.
Okay. Cool. All right, so let's go quickly back to the checklist. So before taxi, so
so you've waved the guys off. So parking brake set. They go once they're clear. You go both on bus. Yeah, click.
So 1 click,
and click.
2 click.
Yeah, and then you go up to the pedostatics.
1.
Yeah, so this is from memory. You do this first officer. We do this from memory.
It's a really annoying click spot there.
That's right. Click.
Right, cool.
And then you go down to you go auto on the left pack, auto on the right pack. AP bleed out off, and then the dual bleed light will go off.
Okay.
There you go.
Cool.
Then you want to go to flight.
There you go.
That pressurises the aircraft. Then you're going to put the start switches to continuous.
Okay. So
And if you need an anti-ice, this is the point you put the engine anti-ice on, but we don't need it today.
okay,
And now you'd come.
APU off.
You can do, yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Has to have a minute cool down from when you turn the AP bleed off to
right.
when. Yeah.
Well, we'll call that 30 seconds.
That's fine. Won't tell the engineers.
Yeah,
And then you come
don't tell
down.
everyone.
So that bit's done now. Then you come down, and the captain will announce set flap.
Okay, so we're going to go with
The
5.
first officer will announce flap 5 selected.
Yeah, cool.
It's more of a confirmation bias, so the captain won't announce what flap. He won't say set flap 5. He'll just say set flap. So you're not sort of telling the first officer to set the wrong flap.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Control checks. So what do you do?
Firstly, you just wait to see when you need to wait till the leading edges are green, and then you do control flicks. So they are. So that'll be amber until the slats have all gone out. Once that's green, then you do the control checks.
Right. Is that in case the flaps have got hung up on the controls or something?
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Right. Okay. Right.
So
and then which way do you go?
Full forward normally.
Full forward.
Full back.
Full back.
Belly check.
Yeah. Belly check. Breathe in.
Neutral.
Yeah. Okay.
Full left.
Full left.
Full right.
Full right.
Then you go onto the rudder pedals. Captain would hold the steering tiller, keep the nose wheel steady.
So he just keep hold of that?
Yeah, you basically keep hold of it.
I don't think
so full left, full right.
Yeah.
And that's it.
And that's it.
And then you go for taxi checklist.
Right. Okay. Cool. Right.
So then you just run the checklist off, and
so generators on, pitot
yeah.
statics on,
Yeah.
anti-ice not required, pressurization packs on, isolation valve auto, flight ground flight, engine start switches continuous, recall check.
Yep.
So that looks good. Auto brake RTO, engine start levers idle, flight controls check, ground equipment clear, and we are cleared to taxi.
that is it.
All right, that's it. So now we've just got taxi.
Yeah. So
Right, talk me through a bit of taxiing then.
well, I don't know. I don't taxi. There's no tiller on my side, so
You've no idea.
I used to taxi the triple, but yeah, I've never taxied a 7.3. But
What kind of breakaway power?
you need, depending on the weight of the aircraft, you might need anything up to 35% really. But they can, especially if you're stuck in a tarmac rut in Spain in the middle of summer.
Right, okay.
But this one looks quite good. But so you put the taxi and turn off lights on just when you're on the
that
ground. You go. At this point, you just check in. You just have a quick silent check, really, making sure the heading bugs are all moving correctly in the correct sense. You might quickly identify some nav aids on the way out as well, because sometimes you can't get them on stand because of sort of blocking from the buildings and stuff. And you do a quick takeoff review where you just review the main things, really. Check it's you check they got the right flap set. You check you got the right trim set. You check you got the correct assumed temperature. You maybe review the MSA, maybe review the emergency turn if there is one, and just a quick sort of rebrief of how you're going to fly the departure. So at 400 feet you're going to go LNAV, at 1,000 feet today we're going to, with 1,200 feet it's going to be automatic M1, and we're going to bug up 210 knots, and then at clean up flaps and no lights we're going to push VNAV, climb into a flight level of a 90.
Okay.
So clear to enter runway 28.
Yeah, we want to check the lights on before we...
Yeah, so entering that to runway you'd always put the strobes on. You would, yeah.
Well, all right. Well,
so you probably
Put
on
the lights
the
on as
for
well.
takeoff. What we normally do is leave all those lights off
right.
until we're cleared. And then we only put the inboards on.
You only put the
Yeah, the
inboards on,
outboards on are only for landing because they actually produce a bit of drag. Right, so if you look at, so this, at the moment, this is how we'd probably be at the moment. So you've got your strobes on,
Yeah,
that's
right.
and
Strobes are on.
that's all fine.
Yeah.
So you clear for takeoff, we go taxi light off,
Yeah, okay. Taxi
and
light
you
off.
go these two on the right on, and
That
that's
one
just the
and
two
that one.
inboards.
Oh, right,
Yeah.
okay, so it's kind of...
The left-hand ones, they have three positions. They have halfway, puts the lights out on the wing. So we call them the extra speed brake. If you're really high, stick them out, you might get an extra
Oh, so it's...
2 feet per minute on the rate of descent.
It pops out from the...
Yeah.
From the ferry.
They changed it on the 800. It's now under the main fuselage.
Okay.
But yeah, so that's how from a distance plane spotters know it's a 300 coming in. So you just need the before takeoff checklist.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Takeoff briefing reviewed, centre tank pumps off,
They're
cabin
off.
secure,
Yeah.
flaps, 5 green lights. Stabiliser trim, actually, that's one thing that we... we did.
Just double check you've got it set. Yeah, I think so. We'll soon find out.
4.8?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. And then... I think there was someone else. Transponder TARA, we've
Yeah,
done that.
that's fine.
Cool, alright.
So you're ready to go.
Right, so
So-
we put the power up.
Yeah. So you're going to put it to about 40%,
Yeah. Okay.
which is quite hard to do on a 733 because you don't know where it's going to stop. It'll suddenly go up like that.
Okay.
That's very normal. And then push toga.
Toga.
And you don't say anything really until we get to the first call will be thrust set. So thrust set,
Yeah.
and the guy says, didn't say anything, no reply to that.
Do I put a little bit of forward pressure on the nose wheel?
Only to 80 knots.
So let's see, right.
80 knots, the call will be 80 knots check. Let's hope we done our performance correctly.
Yeah. The nuns are really regret getting I hope they're saying a prayer. No wonder they go to Lord's.
Oops.
Okay,
V1, rotate.
Rotate. Come on. Up you go.
So positive climb,
Yeah.
gear up.
Okay, gear up.
So it's follow the flight directors. And you're looking for 400 feet rad out, that's the first one. Then you can engage LNAV.
Okay, 400 feet.
400 feet.
LNAV. There
Yep.
you go. 400
And the next should be automatic, but if it isn't, you can push M1, but it should be any second now. That should automatically go to M1. There you go. M1.
Okay.
Thrust comes back slightly.
Yeah, so I can put the autopilot in there, can I?
Yeah, so now you can put the autopilot above 1,000 feet.
There you go.
And now you can bug up to 10 knots.
Okay, cool. So 210, and then the nose should lower.
You can hear the trim wheels going nuts.
Yeah. Okay.
So you've got positive trend, you're above the F speed, so now go flap 1.
Okay, so it's 2 clicks up.
So just flap 1, you go straight, yeah, because you go flap 2 of course, yeah.
Okay.
And then you'll see that F rise as it gets to flap 1. And now that'll stop there, and you can go flaps up now.
Okay, flaps up.
The next call will be flaps up, no lights.
Yeah,
Now in this situation, because we're doing a right turn going back the way we came, I wouldn't accelerate until around that first turn.
You just leave it.
So I'd leave it 210 really, just keep it coming up.
Alright, cool.
Because that will be drawn at a certain speed. So if you accelerate round a turn, it will be a bit funny.
So if we hit VNAV now, it would probably speed
It would
up
go
to
straight to 250. Actually, we'll go straight to 290. Actually, oh no, there we go, 250.
250 below 10,000.
Yeah.
Okay.
So at this point, you probably go, let's set standard, which you have done,
We've already got.
and you'd say you confirm if you're above the MSA, you'd shout the MSA, you'd check you're above that.
So there's OE. So the NDB
Yeah,
is just,
so it's following.
so
And you'd move the heading bug, just keep the heading bug nice and tidy. You'd move that round to where you're going.
So just kind of back on ourselves then, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
And now, because your flaps are no lights and you've set standard, you can do the after takeoff checklist. So
Okay.
the guy would, the pilot flying would say after takeoff checklist, and the memory items for that are just landing gear to up and off. It has been known in the relay to do that. I've never done it. There are those that have and those that will. But
right. So after takeoff, this engine bleeds on.
so you're going to move the RTO bug to off,
Yeah.
and you're going to move the engine starts, which is if you don't need anti-ice, to off. Temperature outside is, I can't see slightly. In this situation, you're in cloud, so you put the anti-ice on. Engine anti-ice on. You're below 10 degrees. Visual moisture. Engine anti-ice on. And you just keep looking at those. Bright light blue, dim blue. That means the valves are open now.
Cool. All right.
And now you can probably just about roll out on that header. You can push VNAV now, and it will automatically command 250 knots. There it goes.
Cool.
I should lower the nose, accelerate.
So it says VNAV speed. And
Yeah,
there you
so
go.
that'll be
There's-
announced by the
there's-
pilot monitoring.
There's the speed bug, and it's slowing down. Actually, we are. heading up
So let's
towards
say you're cleared
9,000.
to 18,000 now. ATC have said climb now,
So
flight level 180.
Would you expect to see the vertical speed come
Yes,
down?
because it's still, they can't do both. They can't do both. It's not an F-18.
And we're away.
That's it, really. So you've done the after takeoff checklist. The next call will probably be about 10,000 feet or flight level 100, where you'll knock all the lights off, and in your review, are we in cloud? I'd say you were probably out of cloud now, so I'd probably say engine anti-ice off. Now the big gotcha here is that if you look up to the overhead panel, a big thing that has happened a lot, luckily never to me yet, touch wood, is that somebody says engine anti-ice off and they turn the right electric hydraulic pumps off. Yeah, so so yeah, it's always sort of think twice, click once, you know.
Yeah, got you.
So click those off and then tile it up just with engine start switches off.
It's a bit of an ergonomic disaster, really.
Yes, it is.
The
Yeah, it's
737,
not
isn't it?
great.
So we're through 10,000. So could we do seatbelts?
Yeah,
and
take
lights
them
and
off. Yeah,
stuff?
yeah.
So seatbelts off.
All the lights off.
All the lights off. Turn off lights
It's
off.
probably just lower the nose to accelerate to whatever it's climb, 290 knots, I think it was. Its climb speed.
Yeah, that's right. And that's it now. So
That's
now
it.
it's just going to take itself all the way to Manchester.
Yeah, it'll. So if you can see, you zoom out. What you normally like to have is at least the next waypoint, if you can see it on the map display. So zoom out till you can see the next waypoint, just so you know we're not going to the North Pole or somewhere.
Right. Okay.
So there you go. That's how I'd have it set. And obviously the weather radar you probably have on. One of you would have weather. One of you would have terrain. You do that when you're lining up.
So let's say I don't know. So terrain. How does it work? Is there another switch?
Yeah,
on
this
side?
there should be two.
I don't know where his is.
Yeah, maybe it defaults
Maybe I've
on
only
the
got
left.
Maybe I've only got it on my side.
Yeah, so the next call will be 1,000 to go. So when you get to 170, one of the pilots will probably say 1,000 to go, or altimeters, or just as a sort of. And I don't know, on this one you might have a warning horn. You might have a 1,000 to go warning horn.
Right. Okay.
The arrival, obviously, it's an arrival probably designed for coming in from a larger larger cruise altitude. So just for this purpose, I would go back to the previous page and delete those hard altitudes there at their speed limit points on the left. But
I have a feeling this Mersey thing might screw it up because we
well,
don't.
just if you go to
we're probably not
plan,
going to need all this.
yeah, if you go to plan mode on your EFIS control panel.
Okay.
And now if you
Zoom in
go,
a bit.
yeah, that's it. And now go back to your FMC. Now the legs page, you'll see that's changed to step instead of route data.
Right.
So you look on that side because he's in. So now you can step through the waypoints.
Right. So
Clicking
there's
that.
Guinness, Natco.
And this is the way we sort of just double check that it's going the way we think.
So Wallasey, Mersey. So it's taken us on a bit.
Yeah.
Of a
So if you just zoom out one up from that. Okay.
All this is a bit easier than a real airplane. Yeah.
Yeah. So what I would do for today's,
we're
I
going
would join
we're going straight
up.
to the centre fix, aren't we?
Yeah. What's the point for Wallasey? I would join up Wallasey to the centre fix 201. Because that's what I do in the real aircraft. I would join them up and expect to get vectors.
Right. Okay. That's fine.
Now previous page.
And then if we
And
just
join up to Wallasey.
chuck that
That's
under
it.
Wallasey.
Yeah. There you go. Execute that.
There you go.
There you go. So that's more realistic. What I'd probably do at the centre fix 201, you don't really want to be doing 240 knots approaching base leg. So I'd probably bring that back to, let's say, put 210, put min clean, put 210 knots in, 210 slash.
Yeah.
And that should go in there.
And then what's the?
It'll make an altitude for you. It'll decide whatever height. You can, if you want to, you can put it for today. If you want to put hard out, if you want to get down low, so you're on below profile, you can put 3,500.
There you go.
It's a flight level, so the transition altitude is obviously a little bit. We'll change that, and you can go to the descent forecast page and change that. Put it 6,000, then it'll be. There you go.
Okay.
So while we're on that page, if you want to look at that, that's a page we use. Maybe not on this set, as you say earlier. It's a very short setter. It's not going to make hardly any difference regarding the wind. So anti-ice on and off. It makes the obviously when you've got the engine anti-ice on, the thrust is up a little bit to cope for to power the engine anti-ice.
Right. Okay.
So you don't get your descent rate isn't as good, so it'll plan for that. If you put it in, say, I'm going to have it on estimating from about 250 to 15,000, you can put that in for 10,000 feet. You're going to have it on. It'll make your descent longer because it knows you're going to have more thrust on.
So what do you do? I mean, this is a really short sector.
On this short sector, you'd now be briefing that you do your top of climb scan. You make sure you get everything done, and you're doing your arrival brief really. So the pilot flying would do this. They'd set the on both sides up. They'd sort of lean across, set them both the ILS frequencies up. You'd set the minimums for a Cat 1. Obviously, the 733 is a Cat C aircraft, so in this case, the minimums are 460 feet, requiring 550 meters RVR, which is a pretty standard Cat 1. No, you wouldn't set that. They wouldn't set that.
No.
No, that's decision height. The only time you'd use that is for a Cat 3. So no. So you just use it on your bug, on your actual analog. So this orange bug, yeah. Right. So you'd set 460. So. That's it.
Is that
exactly?
Where is that? That's 4.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure if we don't, but some airlines do. They might set the height applicable to the minimum. So you've got 550 meters RVR, and you've got 200 meters above that. 460 equates to 200 feet above the threshold. Right. So some airlines might set the 200. I don't know. Okay. For some reason, you've got glide slope and lock. You've got.
Yeah, it's because I've. Now that I've tuned the ILS here, then
that's strange.
You wouldn't expect to see that at this point.
You shouldn't see that.
Would you only see that once it becomes?
I've never seen that.
You've never seen it?
Nope.
Right. Okay. That's interesting.
Okay. No, I haven't seen that. Normally equates to a failure. if you had something like that. But they've got, maybe because it's not receiving a signal button on the ones we fly, it doesn't do that.
I'm going to set auto brake 3 because
Yeah.
I'll probably float halfway down the runway. I
That's
mean,
fine.
you saw the takeoff, so
It's fine. Better than my first takeoff on a 7.3.
all right, okay, I'll quote you on that. All right.
See, you're only about 25 miles away from top of the descent point, so
yeah, it's going to get the QNH.
Oh, the weather.
Yeah. 1008. Can I put that in the standby?
Put that on standby. Yeah, that's exactly what you do. So you wouldn't change the primary one, but yeah, you definitely set the standby.
Okay.
So what else have we got to set? So you've set your inbound tracks on here, have you?
That's a good idea.
No, 233 inbounds.
On both sides.
Yeah, so it's normally bugs, bearings, boxes, and brief.
Right, 233.
And brakes. That's the fifth one.
Okay, so bugs. What have we got?
Bugs, bearings, boxes, brief, and brakes.
Right, so we need to get the. Should we land with 30?
Yeah, so you'd set. So what you do, you get a progress page, and it will tell you how much fuel you're going to land with. So at the moment we've so it's slightly different.
It doesn't. It doesn't tell me how much we've got.
Okay.
And in fact, it does look like there's a little bug with the time of arrival. Looks a bit wrong.
Yeah, it doesn't it? Normally it would tell you what fuel you're going to arrive with. So you'd minus what you have at the moment.
Yeah.
To what you're going to land
we're going to land with.
And then you go back to init ref page.
So
take that figure off there. Let's pretend it's only going to burn it. It's not going to. It'll change by a knot.
Right.
I can't fly too accurately to 1 knot, so no.
Not
Flat
40,
30. Yeah.
flat
So you
30.
click 30.
Yeah.
And then sorry, just one click. That's fine. And it
fine.
hardens it up. Look, so
Right.
that then brings it up on here when you're coming into the approach.
Got you. All right. Perfect.
Really now, let's pretend ATC have said descend when ready, or pilot's discretion to flight level 100.
Okay. So are we just going to let it descend in VNAV?
Yeah. Let's say if you're high on. The way I do it, if you're high on the profile, level change is a good one to use.
Okay.
Problem with vertical speed is that it just targets the vertical speed. It'll try to give you the speed, but once the thrust levers get to idle, it'll lower it, and you keep commanding more and more vertical speed.
Right.
The speed will just increase. It doesn't care about what speed you're doing. It just targets the vertical speed.
Right.
So it's quite a dangerous mode if you're not paying attention to it, and vice versa in the climb. If you're commanding a vertical speed that it can't keep that speed at, you could quite easily stall the aircraft.
Right.
So you don't tend to climb in vertical speed unless it's just for the final 500 feet per minute leveling off in RVSM airspace.
Right.
But we don't command large vertical speeds in it because you might forget about it, and it could be sort of
it could go
in the office for tea and coffee. Yeah.
Oh.
So there you go. That's retard,
Yeah. Okay.
and it will start descending.
Cool.
It's 280 is fine above
280.
100. Yeah, then you make sure you're 250 back below 100, unless ATCs
Right.
tell you otherwise.
Let's say that we're going to get radar headings from this point. Which
Yeah,
we
let's say
would.
turn left heading in 080,
Yeah. Okay. So 080 heading south.
and then what I do now, because you're off the star, I would now go direct to you put in the Cenefix 1201 to make the profile more accurate. Let's pretend they said slow to 250 knots.
It's a bit high. I'll just throw. Do you throw all the lights on?
Not at 10,000. No, 10,000
No.
feet. You'd still go just those two
Oh
and those
my
two.
the
Those
famous
two only go on when you're clear to land.
Yeah. Okay. Right. So, and then the taxi and the runway lights. We'll leave all that for now.
So you could stick the turn-offs on now because we're approaching 10,000 feet. Let's say we just get that out of the way.
Yeah.
Seatbelt signs are on. You just put them on.
Right. So all we need there is a taxi light.
Yeah.
That's it.
No, you don't turn the taxi lights on the ground. So
Oh, really?
the
Right.
next score will be clear to land. Those two on.
Right. Cool. Okay.
So turn left a bit more, so come left on about 065 maybe. And we'll bring you in for a
Vector is in.
You'd set the 5 times 3, roughly 15,000 feet is on profile
right
at this point.
Okay.
But so you're a bit low, but that's fine.
Okay. Now the DMEs we've got on the left hand side here, that's the ILS DME,
Yes, it
but
will be, yeah.
that's in a straight line.
Yes, that's as the crow flies straight
Right.
to it. So yeah.
Okay.
So at hold. So let's say descend down to, what's the platform altitude on this approach?
3,500.
Oh, we've got an iPad failure.
Yeah, we've got an iPad battery failure. Yeah.
So get down to platform and then
3,500.
and
Level
makes it
change or
simple.
vertical
Yeah, level
speed?
change is fine.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
So it's going to use idle. So there you go. So the
Yeah.
throttle's
So
gone to idle.
it'll just target the speed at idle thrust.
Cool. All right.
Sometimes you've got to be careful when it goes into arm, like it has now. That means the clutch is now let go of the thrust, so you can move it
Right.
if you wanted to. Sometimes it will go into arm if you've been playing with it when the thrust is up. So you think you're in level change, fat, dumb and happy, thinking, why isn't it descending? And the thrust is stuck at about 45-50%, so
Right, okay.
that's going to be a gotcha. Because the descended to 3,500, you'd set the QNH straight away.
Yeah. So 1008.
Yep. So again, as a confirmation bias, what we normally say is just set QNH. And we both set them independently.
So you don't say, hey,
You don't say set
1008.
No.
Right.
And then straight after that, you go right approach checklist, which is normally just confirming it's just QNH.
Yeah.
You go 1008, set and checked, and
Yeah.
you just look over the other guy's side and see if you both agree. And if one of you's got a different figure,
Yeah.
you check again. So
Cool.
it's just
All right.
an error check.
Cool. So now we've just got to drive ourselves around the corner and slow down a little bit. Would you check anything in the fixed page?
You can do, yeah. What I normally do is put the runway in. Obviously, you put whatever the MSA is based off. Sometimes you put a 25-mile ring around that. But in this case, let's put the runway. So if you go to the legs page,
Yeah.
line select runway 2 to your right, and then go to fixed page.
Yeah.
Put that in and put it.
Yeah, it won't
No, I
let me
didn't
do
like
that.
it.
Well,
Okay.
let me put the airport in. It's not going to be entirely accurate, though, is it, if we do that? Yeah, it will let me do
Yeah,
that.
I'll put 25-mile ring round. That's fine. And we'll just I normally use roughly 7 miles off the DME for the gear when you're on the ILS.
So if I do /7, that's going to be 7 off the
Yeah,
airport.
it'll be
Is it there or thereabouts?
maybe thereabouts.
Yeah.
It might be half a mile off, but we'll use the DME off
Okay, all right.
off here.
Yeah, cool. All right.
So where are we now? So we're being the field, 250 knots, nice and low on profile. So you can I'll go VS 1000 maybe, and then unless you want to get down,
No, that's all right.
because you've got quite a way to go. You at least got 20 miles to go. So and we'll start slowing down about sort of 10 miles before base.
Yeah, cool. And the speed brake, we're only going on the speed brake right at the last minute.
Yeah, so basically what you do normally is gear down, and then the pilot flying will on the speed brake, while the pilot monitoring will then put the start switches on.
Right, okay.
That's what normally happens.
So all the stuff that we've jumped ahead of ourselves.
yeah,
a
but
little
that's
bit.
fine. It's not as easy when you're doing it with a mouse.
No, it's not, no. Now, Manchester, it's quite a busy airport, isn't it, by UK standards?
It is, yeah. There's lots of big aircraft going, lots of exotic carriers going in there now. It's,
Emirates and
Emirates
A380.
fly, I think Emirates fly 2 380s a day now and 1 777. So
Yeah.
it's
Do you ever get a little bit jealous now when you see one parked up?
not really, because I remember how far they've got to fly back. So
Yeah, I suppose the thing is that you get in your car and
yeah,
within 20 minutes you're home.
yeah.
They're not. Yeah. All right, so how are we doing then? We are coming
Looks
through
pretty
5,000.
good. Yeah, I'm hoping that when we start turning on base, the glide slope and localizer indications will pop up.
Yeah.
So in this case, because you've got the boxes that are already sort of tuned, you
There you
could identify the
glide
nav aids. So because this isn't a modern 800 or a 777, you have to manually identify with the old Morse code. So
Okay, so how'd you do that?
you get down to your compound and you click nav 1 or nav 2, and you'd identify them through your headset.
and then we should expect.
So you click that across to VHF1, otherwise you'll be talking to passengers every time you.
Right. Okay. Yeah. That's embarrassing. Where's the nav one? That one there.
Yeah.
Okay. So we should expect to hear a Morse code.
Yeah, but you'd only probably get it because it hasn't. It looks like it's got a DME, so you should get something. But you should get the Morse code.
Okay. Well, I'll leave that on there, and then we
yeah.
can see what happens.
So I'd start reducing now about 210 knots.
Okay.
And if you come right about 20 degrees on the heading, 085 maybe, just to make sure you don't get too far away. That's the red out alive.
Red out alive, yeah.
It says out hold.
Yeah. All right, out hold. Cool.
That'll reduce the speed quite fast now.
When do we want to start thinking about flaps then, Johnny? Or what's the flap profile? Do we click all the way through them, or do we just?
You do. So we don't tend to use the flaps as brakes and as drag. So you don't. We'd really like to get down to as close to 210 knots before you start taking the first flap. Although the limit is 230.
Okay.
Yeah. So I turn right now to about a heading of 120 maybe.
Yeah.
Just to make sure we're nice and stable, let's go flaps 1 then if you want. So
okay, flap 1.
Flap 1.
What can we actually slow down
Slap
to?
190 now.
190.
Yeah.
It doesn't actually give you. It's not like the triple or.
No, it doesn't tell you. No,
these
are set speeds on a set schedule. So
right.
flat 1's 190.
Yeah.
At this weight, if we were above the 5370 tons, it would be.
So
200.
you've just got to know this.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. All right. Cool. And.
So you can go flap 5.
Okay, so
that speed's 170 now. It used to be 180, but they've all had an updated rudder system, which is now 180 knots. Sorry, 170 knots. So there's your glide slope indication. That's popped up. Oh, I can hear it now.
Oh, there you go.
There you go.
Yeah. All right. So I'll turn that off because that's.
So I now start probably.
That's rapidly going to become a bit annoying.
Yes.
Yeah. Cool. Did you just click it again and make it go
that's
away?
it. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Say if when we start going down the slope, we'll review the speed. If it's maintaining the speed fine, I'd quite happily go down to flap 5. If it looks like the speed's struggling and it's accelerating, go flap 10.
Okay.
And it gives you a bit more drag. It's not on a standard speed
So
schedule.
we could do 10 now.
You could do 12 miles. Yeah, you could do just for.
Okay.
Shall we
So
show it?
is the next one 10?
It is.
So
Yes.
5 to 10. Yeah.
So that puts the next stage of slats out. So that gives you quite a bit more drag.
Cool. All right.
And this is the last point you could use the speed brake. You can't use the speed brake beyond flap 10 on the 737.
Okay.
Otherwise it starts to damage the tail. So your glide slope's alive. Well, if you go on your progress page next to, so you want in at ref on the pilot flight on the this side.
Yeah.
And then progress page 2 on the. There you go. That's what you want. It doesn't have it in.
No, it's not there yet.
Oh, that's a different model. I've never seen that.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
Vorlock and approach?
Yeah, so wait till you're within 90 degrees.
Yeah.
Within 90 degrees, within 25 miles. Yeah, arm Vorlock.
Okay.
So Vorlock sights. Captured the
Cool.
Vorlock. That's nice.
Cool.
And you are cleared the approach from to the right, so now you can push the approach button. You could put the second autopilot if you wanted to now.
Cool.
And the glide slope's armed.
Can you just press the approach for them both, or have you got to go?
We
Vorlock
don't tend to,
approach?
no, especially in the UK, because they now what they normally do is clear the localizer first and then the glide slope separately.
Right, so there's got to be two separate pushes.
Yeah, we don't
really.
tend to arm them both at the same time.
All right, cool.
Let's go a bit early. Let's go gear down, flat 15.
So gear down, flat 15.
And set speed 150.
Should that go out now?
It won't do until it's done its self-test.
Right, okay.
So below 1500 feet, it'll start flashing. Once that's done, it'll go out, or it might say. We don't have that. It might say 2-channel. I mean, it's up to you. You can either fully configure now if you want.
Yeah, let's just do it early.
So flat 25, speed 140. Now you've got to be careful with this speed, because today look, our weight is 139, so you're going to add 5 knots to that for your VRF. So our final speed is 144. So you go flat 25, speed 144, because you're not going to go below that.
Okay, 144. Okay, and then
And you go flat 30, and you've already got your speed set. So there's your flashing, there's your self-test, below 1500 right out, and it's gone out. So now you'd arm the speed brake, which I think you've already done. So now you do your landing chairlist.
Right, so
Just our switches are continuous.
Yeah, we did that.
Speed brake's armed,
Yeah.
landing gear's down, and your
Yeah.
flaps are 30 with the green light, and that's it.
All right, cool. Okay, taking out the autopilot, do we turn the arm off or hit the speed button?
No, you
Do it
just
on the
you click it on the yoke, click, and
Right.
and what I normally do is go speed off. So that puts it back to arm.
It does.
So
Right,
click
it
it
does.
twice, it cancels the
There you
horn, and you got flight directus, and there you go.
Right, I need to match these up. So there you go. Right,
Okay,
this
that's
is called the
quite
ghost throttle.
Okay.
So that's quite clever. Okay,
So basically, you're looking at flaring at about between 10 and 15 feet, really. So
between
just
10 and
watch
15
your glide
feet.
there,
So a
keep
little
it
bit-
coming
we're
down.
a little bit high, so
Yeah.
just pull the power off a little bit.
Yeah.
And then, how much trimming do we want to be doing at this point, Johnny?
If you take it out when it's fully configured to land, it shouldn't be that much trimming to do.
Right. So, do I just want to trim the forces,
Yes,
basically, so
exactly,
I'm not fighting it?
Yeah. You want to be able to
Right, so
you want to
now-
effectively be able to let go of the controls.
So now I'm getting a bit low.
That's
Right,
fine. That's
there
fine.
you go. That's all right.
That's absolutely fine. Keep it coming down like that. So basically, keep the same picture, keep it level in the once you've got the one you want, just don't let it move in the window.
Right. Okay.
So don't get too low. No, you might slightly get a glides.
I know we've already frightened the nuns once today.
That's right, don't worry.
Yeah.
So you got a little glide slip warning there.
So we're a little bit low, yeah.
So
okay.
keep it coming down. Don't pull up too early.
So 20.
And yeah,
so
cut the
full
thrust.
power off.
Push. There we go.
There you go.
Oh, yeah, that would have hurt. Speed brakes up. I don't know what happened there. The nuns have just spilt their.
I know. The nuns have just spilled their rose water. There's rose water all over the cabin. We've got a code red nun emergency. Okay, so.
And you'd probably be looking down here to see if the auto brake's working as well, just to make sure the auto brake disarm light.
We do seem.
It looks like it's stopping quite nicely. Yeah. So and then you take. There's lots of different ways you can get the auto brake out. You can click the switch. You can put the speed brake in. You can. So or you just dab the brakes. So, and make sure you cancel reverse for over 60 knots. So you want it to be at least reverse idle at 60 knots, and then to cancel, to close them before taxi speed. And we don't tend to do much until we've cleared the active runway. We don't tend to start flicking switches until we're off the runway, and then the captain will move the speed brake up to back it up basically. That's the indication to the first officer that he's allowed to start cleaning up. So you do the flaps first, 'cause obviously they take a while. So you put all the flaps back up.
Okay, so flaps up.
Yeah. Turn the flight switch to ground. That's the important one, so you can actually open the doors. You'd set the lights. So you just go the lights. You turn the. Oh, so we didn't do the landing lights, did we?
No, we didn't do the landing lights.
So you turn the landing lights off and put the taxi light on, and you start the APU.
Yeah, because otherwise we're going to be sitting. The nuns will be sitting in the dark.
That's right.
And then
Start switches are off.
Strobes off.
Yep, correct. Your PETA statics need to go off.
Oopsie. Yeah.
It's hard when you taxi.
It is, isn't it? Pitot. You know what? I'll leave the pitos.
Okay.
It's just the click spot's really hard to find, and I'll probably crash.
So, and just to tidy up also, so it's PETA stat that we haven't done, and the auto brake disarm switch, you get it off.
Right.
And you'd make sure things like the weather radar are off, so you're not going to fry the ground crew when we get on stand. And the transponder you probably put to TA or a ground mode.
Okay.
So if you go left here, we'll go past the spotters.
Yeah, Spotter's Corner.
Yeah.
That's over there, isn't it?
Past the Concorde somewhere over there as well.
Yeah, Concorde's in the little hangar. That's the
there she is,
the Trident rather.
Yeah.
Cool. There's the A380.
So pick a spot, any spot.
Yeah, I'll just chuck us over there next to that 737. So turn us left here. In fact, if I remember at Manchester, there is a little spot in the middle.
There is, yeah, there is, yeah. Yeah, it's just here. You can park on the centre in there if you want.
Yeah. And then we can park. Is it in there? It's in the middle.
Not that one. It's it's might have changed. I think it's here. Look, that second one in there.
Oh yeah,
I think.
Yeah, I don't
Again,
know.
I haven't been in.
I seem to remember
couple of
taxiing
years.
past it a few times, but. And then would you turn off lights in the taxi
Yeah,
lights
so you
off?
did lights. Yeah, lights off.
Okay, so that'll do in the absence of some ground crew. All the nuns have been thrown around. Okay,
So yeah, parking brake set.
Parking brake
So
set.
basically, we want 1 red, 2 blues is what we sort of normally say. It's not a standard call, which is what everybody says. See, 1 red, 2 blues, and you put the AP on bus. That's it. So now you can shut down the engines without worrying about it going dark.
Have you ever done that?
No. Yeah.
Honest, Ben.
Honest. I think any 737 pilot is lying when they said they've never done that. And then you can shut them down.
Shut them down. So that's that one. And that's that one.
That's it. And now you send the seatbelt signs off, let them run around.
Okay, nuns. They're quite keen
And once
to-
they're below 10% in the M1, you can turn the anti-collision light off and tell everybody that they can approach the aircraft.
Alright.
Safely.
So that's the anti-collision
That's
light
it.
there. Cool.
And then you just tidy up really. So if
tidy
we're
up.
shutting down, you just start on the fuel pumps, turn the fuel pumps off. You probably leave one on for the APU, leave that
That's
one on.
the middle one
That's
there,
it.
that one.
Then you go up, galley power off. Never got a cup of tea, did we?
No, we didn't. It's
Um,
a terrible airline. Right,
window heats off.
Window heats off.
Obviously the
so
pedostatic would be already off,
that
but
one and that one. Is it? Do they get pretty hot on the ground pretty quick? Is that the story?
yes, yeah.
Right, okay.
It's just mainly for safety reasons. People not going to touch them.
Heaters, come on. Oh man, where's the click spot? There it is.
The electric hydraulic pumps can go off.
So that's the middle one,
Yep.
yeah?
Two middle ones.
You see, that looks like it should be
Yeah.
there. There you go. That one.
What
back
else
to
we
the top
got?
again.
Packs are off
And
because you're not
then-
using them. And the AP bleed air is off. And now normally happens the ground power might be connected,
Yeah,
and
I'll
you
just-
connect the ground
I'll
power.
throw that in. So connect ground power,
So-
and then we probably wouldn't bother with air on a day like today,
No,
would we?
no, definitely. So you click that on, and there's no load in the APU. It's had no load on the air, so you can turn it off and turn
Cool.
that pump off.
And turn that pump off.
And then you go down to the just tidy up at the bottom. That's all tidy, and basically all you do down here is just turn the transponder off.
Right, and then just run it around to standby. Is that
Yeah.
right?
And then just turn his weather radar off.
With the radar off.
And that really is it.
And that's it.
Yeah.
Welcome to Manchester. Let's do a quick debrief.
There's a couple of bits in the FMC that sort of don't quite match up with the real one, which I'm sure they'll get right in the future.
You're sure they'll fix?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
certainly the sounds and the modelling.
Sounds, the modelling, and the way they've done the cockpit's fantastic. It's very it's like being at work. It's very.
Do you feel like today's your day off? Do you actually feel like you've been
That's
to
right,
work today?
I do. I need some more pay.
Cool. All right. Well, look. Well, I guess there's still plenty to know about this.
Yeah,
this
that was a
aeroplane.
very rough and ready sort of.
I mean, was that literally that was
Yeah, that was a very
that was-
quick sort of introduction to how to fly it. Really, I mean, obviously it's a little more complicated on the days, but that'll get most people in the air hopefully. So.
Yeah. Okay. So for kind of an ILS, so one big airport to another big
Yeah.
airport from an ILS, then that's probably as simple as it gets, really.
Yeah.
But I guess that kind of sector, because it's so short.
Yeah,
I guess that
it's
makes
very
it quite
busy. Yeah, you mean in certain sectors, if they're shorter than that, you might turn to brief everything on the ground, so you don't have anything to talk about.
Right.
You know, you may be able to get the ATIS on the ground at your departure. your departure airport for the arrival airport, so you can actually brief everything to get out of the way. So all you've got to do really is just set up the boxes or your 5Bs again, and off you go.
Away you go.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, cool. All right, Johnny, I've enjoyed our quick look at the IXEG 737-300. Thank you.
Thank you very much.